What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update today, 2021, as well as the next two upcoming packages, the physical infrastructure package and the next stimulus package, as well as what is going on in the world today. Happy Father's Day to everybody who is a father or maybe acts like a father. Happy Father's Day to you, and make sure to watch to the end of the video for a special guest appearance that you won't want to miss. Also in this video, we have some new developments regarding the next stimulus and infrastructure package, and we're going to hear from them directly from the source. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. Remember, new videos come out every day on this channel at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, if you can, hit the like button and let's jump right in. Okay, first up, we're going to hear from Senator Bernie Sanders, who is the Senate Budget Chairman. He is the person in charge of the reconciliation process in the Senate. That is the process that they use to pass bills with only 50 to 51 votes, which the Democrats have and can pass bills exactly how they passed the third stimulus check package without any Republican support. The third stimulus check and the third stimulus check package that had the $1,400 stimulus checks, the $1,400 stimulus checks for children, $1,400 stimulus checks for adults and or adult dependents and college student dependents, which they didn't even get checks before, were the largest yet to date, as well as the child tax credit checks that are going to start going out on July 15th of $250 to $300 per month, a kind of form of universal basic income that is already passed for this 1 year. They want to extend that till 2025, as well as proposals to increase Social Security and expand Medicare to have additional Medicare benefits of hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aids to be included in this next infrastructure package. We're going to hear directly from Senator Bernie Sanders. Remember, Senator Bernie Sanders and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer are both in favor of monthly recurring stimulus checks to be included in this next package. And in fact, they are co-signers of a letter to President Biden, along with Senator Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren, for $2,000 monthly stimulus checks. In addition to this, Bernie Sanders is one leading the charge for Medicare for all, additional Medicare benefits, or lowering the Medicare eligibility age to age 60 or lower, as well as Social Security increases, two of which Senator Bernie Sanders is backing. So here is Senator Bernie Sanders with the latest update on the infrastructure and the stimulus package that are currently being combined. They're going two different tracks. They're going to look for bipartisan support still here over the next few days, or they're going to continue to pass or actually start voting on the process this week of passing the bill combined with the reconciliation process.
And joining me now is Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. He's, of course, the chair of the Senate Budget Committee. Senator Sanders, welcome back to Meet the Press, and happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much. Happy Father's Day to you.
Appreciate that. Look, you said on Monday that you weren't going to support this bipartisan infrastructure deal as it stands right now. What would it take for you to support this deal, particularly if President Biden starts to sign off on it? What would it take, even if you don't love it?
Well, Chuck, look, what we have got to do in these budgets is address the crises facing the American people. It is true that our roads and our bridges and our water systems and our wastewater plants are crumbling, and we need to invest in them. As I understand it, the so-called bipartisan plan really only provides about 25% of the money that the president asked for, about $580 billion. But the point goes beyond that. The working people of this country understand, Chuck, that for decades we have ignored their needs while the very richest people in this country have become richer. So we have a situation right now where people throughout this country cannot afford childcare. People cannot afford, elderly people cannot afford hearing aids or dental care. We have a disaster in terms of climate impacting this country right now. How do you go forward right now in this moment in history and not address the terrible climate crisis that we face and transform our energy system? How do you not deal with housing when 18 million families are spending 50% or more of their limited incomes on housing. And the list goes on and on. Rich get richer. Working people are struggling. It is time we paid attention to the needs of working people. And when we do that, when we deal with climate, when we deal with infrastructure, when we deal with home health care, when we deal with childcare, we can create millions of good paying jobs. That is what the American people want. That's what we've got to do.
Are you comfortable with a two-step process?
Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with a lot of the hot topics we've been seeing lately. Corporations of 50 plus corporations of the Fortune 500, the largest 500 companies in the United States, pay $0 in federal tax per year. Again, what he's saying is the rich get richer. We also have that leaked information that the FBI is actually trying to figure out how the tax returns got leaked of the billionaires Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos, and how they pay like less than 1 or 2% taxes. Each one was a little bit different. All three of them paid less than 3% taxes last year. But it's kind of based on their net growth, their growth of wealth, not necessarily how much they made. And that's why we see such low amounts there, where these billionaires can gain billions and billions of dollars. In fact, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are both currently worth about $200 billion with a B. And you know, they can grow by 25 or 50 billion dollars in a year and pay very little taxes because it's their net worth growing, it's the value of their stock growing, and if they don't sell it, there's not a transaction there that they can tax. And this is kind of part of the reform they're looking at, because they're saying if these guys are worth billions of dollars and these companies are worth billions or making 11, you know, Amazon made $11.2 billion one year and paid $0 in tax. And this is one of the things they want to fix, and they want to use that money for Social Security increases, Medicare increases, and for more stimulus and infrastructure packages.
Are you comfortable with a two-step process where you noted this is the 25% about of what President Biden asked for? Is it worth it in your mind to take what you can get in a bipartisan way, especially if that's the way you can get Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema to get on board a Democrats-only bill that may tackle the care economy, as you just outlined?
Well, look, as I said, what is in the bipartisan bill in terms of spending is, from what I can see, mostly good. It is roads and bridges, and we need to do that. That is what we are proposing in our legislation, but in much greater numbers. One of the concerns that I do have about the bipartisan bill is how they are going to pay for their proposals. And they're not clear yet. I don't know that they even know yet. But some of the speculation is raising a gas tax, which I don't support, a fee on electric vehicles, privatization of infrastructure. Those are proposals that I would not support.
Do you get at the end of the day, do you think this ends up passing as by raising the deficit? Is that something you're comfortable with? And then Democrats have to go it alone and possibly raise taxes on their own? Is that where this is headed?
Well, when you talk about taxes, let us also be clear. And I think the average American, whether you're Democrat, Republican, or independent, understands there's something absurd that at a time of massive income wealth inequality, when the very rich are becoming much richer, when two people own more wealth than the bottom 40% of America, that you have billionaires out there who pay zero, not a penny, in federal income tax. Large profitable corporations pay nothing in federal income tax. So what the president has said, he doesn't want to raise taxes on people making $400,000 or less. I agree with that. But you know what? In order to lower the cost of prescription drugs, in order to deal with paid family and medical leave, because we're the only major country on earth that doesn't provide that, yes, we are going to have to ask the wealthy and the powerful to start paying their fair share of taxes.
I want to go back because you kind of ducked the question the first time. Would you support or at least vow not to kill the bipartisan deal if you got a commitment from the president and some of those centrist senators to support a larger attempt to sort of a Part 2 Democrats-only reconciliation bill?
Well, Chuck, I don't know that anybody could give you an honest answer for that, because nobody really knows what is going to be in this bipartisan agreement and how it is going to be paid for. So if it is roads and bridges, yeah, of course we need to do that, and I support that. If it is regressive taxation,
Gotcha.
Raising the gas tax or a fee on electric vehicles or the privatization of infrastructure, no, I wouldn't support it. But we don't have the details right now.
That's in regards to Senator Bernie Sanders actually coming out and saying, along with some of the other Democrats, saying that they won't vote for a bipartisan bill, a deal with the Republicans on the infrastructure package if they don't combine them two. Remember, right now they're working on two different paths. Okay, a lot of people get this confused. The Democrats right now are working on passing both packages together, and in fact, adding another $2 trillion on there. They're going to start with $6 trillion. The original two bills combined were about 4.1 trillion. We'll say 4 trillion for a nice round number. Their proposal is for 6 trillion. So there leaves a lot of extra money in there for a forced stimulus check, monthly recurring stimulus checks, an extension of the monthly checks that are going to children, the child tax credits. Social Security increases, Medicare increases, 2 years of free preschool, 2 years of free college, maybe even student loan debt forgiveness or other types of debt forgiveness. There's $2 trillion extra on top of what they normally had originated. And in addition to this, there's another $2 trillion, a separate $2 trillion that is already passed from the first 5 stimulus packages passed by former President Donald Trump and the first package passed by President Biden, 6 packages. There's $2 trillion left out of that stimulus money that's already passed that hasn't been spent yet, that they're considering repurposing. The Republicans want to use it to pay for part of the infrastructure package. The Democrats want to pay it, use it for the stimulus check and Medicare expansion. There's definitely different point of view here. Senator Bernie Sanders says he's not going to vote for a small infrastructure deal with the Republicans if it's too small. Okay, and that's why he asked them there, will he vote for it? And there's a couple people that have already kind of followed Bernie Sanders from the Democratic side and said, yeah, we're not going to negotiate with the Republicans when we're in charge of both the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Again, I'm not from either side. I'm just kind of telling you what they're saying. There's a lot of Democrats saying that, listen, we were voted in to be the leaders of the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and so we should act accordingly. We should pass what we think is right. We were voted in the majority. When Mitch McConnell was in the majority last year in the Senate, he would do anything he wanted, and anything that he didn't want, he would send to his graveyard. We know this. We've seen this multiple times. Anything that Mitch McConnell didn't want, he wouldn't even put it on the floor for a vote. Most notably, that $1,400 stimulus check that former President Donald Trump wanted. Back in December, he said these $600 stimulus checks are not enough. They should be $1,400. And this was the president at the time, a Republican president, President Trump. And Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, who's a Democrat, said, all right, cool, we'll do what you want. And they passed the Cash Act in the House of Representatives with Republican support. Again, this wish was coming from a Republican president, former President Trump. And Mitch McConnell let it die. He didn't even let the bill get voted on from his own Republican president. He didn't even put it to a vote. He just sent it to his graveyard. So we see this time and time again, whether the Democrats are in control or the Republicans are in control. They'll do whatever they can in their power for their own best interests. And we've seen this from Mitch McConnell. We've seen this from the Democrats. And a lot of Democrats are saying now that they have the power now for a limited amount of time. There's only about a year or so until the next midterm election. And the Democrats are saying we need to pass everything we can before that next election comes up. And that's what we need to do if we want to stay in the majority, if we want to retain control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency.
Let me ask you about Obamacare. The Supreme Court ruling this week. This is the third one, and I even heard Republican senators say, okay, no more, no mas. They're not going to try to kill Obamacare anymore. You were a reluctant supporter of it. You preferred something bigger, Medicare for all. Where is your priority now? Making Obamacare closer to your vision on Medicare for all, lowering, doing things like that? Or do you still think in the future Obamacare should be scrapped and replaced?
Well, it's not Obamacare has done a lot of good for a lot of people. That's clearly the fact, and I support that. But at the end of the day, Chuck, we are the only major country on earth that doesn't guarantee health care to all people is right. We are spending roughly twice as much per capita on health care as do the people of any other country, and 90 million of us are uninsured or underinsured. We pay by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. We don't have enough doctors and nurses and dentists, especially in underserved rural areas. This is not a system that is working. We pay a fortune, we don't get good value. My own view is that we must move to a Medicare for all single payer program. And by the way, there is growing support to at least right now expand Medicare to cover dental, to cover hearing, to cover eyeglasses. It is outrageous that millions of seniors have trouble eating because they can't afford dentures.
So yeah, let me know your thoughts down there below in the comments. We had Senator Bernie Sanders say he's against gas taxes to help pay for this infrastructure package. He's against electrical vehicle taxes. He's against basically any taxes that are going to affect the average everyday American, like gas taxes. Both he and President Biden, they want to raise taxes only in select areas to corporations making over $1 billion per year, and what they call the wealthy, the 1% of America. There's a couple different proposals there. One, to raise taxes on people that make over $400,000. In fact, they say both Senator Bernie Sanders and President Biden say that by reintroducing a Social Security tax on people that make over $400,000 per year, that they could pay for all the Social Security increases. There's a couple different proposals. There's a $200 per month proposal that is Senator Bernie Sanders is behind as well. That also is co-written by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, and Ron Wyden, have unveiled a plan to increase Social Security benefits by $200 per month for all Social Security beneficiaries. The plan to provide more than 60 million Americans with an additional $4,000 over 2 years is part of the Senate Democrats' bold Phase 3 stimulus proposal. This and the other plan by President Joe Biden to raise all Social Security beneficiaries to 125% of the federal poverty level, or 25% over the federal poverty line, which would be a total of $1,341 per month, or over $16,000 per year. I have a really good video on that. I'll link you to here at the end of the video. I tend to update on this about once a week or so to let you guys know the latest developments. Social Security increases are a really big part of what the Democrats want to do before the next election. So they're considering putting in that in this next package, along with these Medicare benefits, which hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aids would be covered completely for free, no additional Medicare costs or anything like that, along with lowering the Medicare eligibility age. And of course, putting a fourth stimulus check or a monthly recurring stimulus check that both Senator Bernie Sanders, Chuck Schumer, and well, I can't say the president, but the president is open to a fourth stimulus check, and if in fact has said nothing negative, only really medium to positive things about another stimulus check, and says that if Congress wants to put a fourth stimulus check in this next package, that they can surely do so, and he is open to the idea of it. So if anything, he's more supportive of a fourth stimulus check than not. And I think once they get down to the nitty gritty, the details, we're going to find out how much of these different things are going to be in this infrastructure package. In fact, there is some rumors or some talk that they're going to start passing the initial portions of the reconciliation process this week. So we could have some crucial votes starting this week, which will show us if all the Democrats are on board with this really large package, what might be in the package. Now, remember that these packages get negotiated on up until the day of the package. We've seen that with the third stimulus check package when Senator Joe Manchin came in there and said, well, I'm not sure I'm going to vote for this. And then they're like, okay. And they took him in a back room, literally, and negotiated with him. And he lowered the income threshold for the third stimulus check from $100,000 down to $80,000 for a single filer, as well as though as a sweetener, they threw in that $10,200 unemployment tax break, which makes the first $10,200 of unemployment income from last year tax-free. We could see that happen again for 2021 this year. So if you're on unemployment, we know that last year the average person, and the IRS is still sending those checks out right now, is going to get an extra $1,000 refund check or stimulus check, whatever you want to call it, from that provision that was added in the third stimulus check package the very day they passed it in the Senate. And on the second stimulus check package, the second stimulus check was originally not in there, and they added it in about 5 or 6 days before they passed it. It was the last thing they added in there. Then they basically wrote the bill and passed it in the House, the Senate, and that was when Mitch McConnell was in control of the Senate, and former President Trump, Republican president and Republican Senate. Remember, they passed 5 packages, 5 different stimulus packages. President Biden's only passed 1 so far, with 2 more on the way, unless they combine the 2. But really, the Democrats are just getting started. They have a little bit over a year or so to pass all these different things in their agenda. So I will be keeping you up to date with everything. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. And here is our special guest for the day. Say it louder.
Happy Father's Day!
Yay! We want to say Happy Father's Day from my son, Julian. How old are you, Julian?
3!
3. And from me and our family to you guys, anybody who is a father or even maybe acts like a father, Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day!
Yeah, how do you feel about today, buddy?
I don't not feel good. Not
Is this your bandage?
Yeah.
Is that your Band-Aid?
Yeah.
Put it on and show everybody. Oh. Is this from your doctor set?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to be a doctor when you grow up?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have to work really hard for that, buddy.
I'm gonna wear this before fire.
Before what?
Before fire. Then and I go Timber Crumble.
Oh, okay, buddy.
Timber Crumble.
Don't ask me what that is. All right, buddy. Well, we're going to say Happy Father's Day, and we're going to say bye-bye to everybody.
Timber Tumble.
Teambo Combo.
Yeah.
Did you tell everybody that you went on a teeter-totter a few days ago?
Teeter-totter.
Yeah, teeter-totter.
Bye-bye. We
I say it quieter.
love you.
Okay, say bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, guys. Happy Father's Day. You can click this video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this is my most recent video about President Biden's Social Security raise. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.